Hello and welcome to the Central Florida Consortium of Private School Counselors College Fair. We are so excited to have you participating in this event. My name is Jennifer and I'll be your facilitator today. We have some fantastic schools. I'm so excited for you to hear all about them. So here are a few housekeeping reminders and notes to help you today. Each school has 6 minutes to share about their institution. I know it's just going to be a sneak peek at everything they have to offer. And we hope that you're excited for this little intro and you'll be inspired to follow up and learn even more after watching this presentation. Your camera and your microphone are off, so our panelists, they cannot see or hear you, but you can ask questions by using that Q&A button on your screen. You can type your questions at any time, whether a school is presented or not. Feel free to put those questions in the Q&A. You can leave a question for all of our representatives to answer about their school, their programs, majors, or you can direct a question to a specific school by including the name of the school with your question. So that rep knows that that you're hoping to hear from them. This is just one of many different sessions that are happening as a part of this program. We hope that you have signed up for additional sessions, and it's not too late to do so. You can do that at the same site where you registered for this event, strivescan.com/Central Florida. Also, all of the presentations as a part of this college fair are recorded. You'll be able to find them in the coming days at that same website where you registered. All right, well, I'm excited to turn it over to our very first presenter. We're going to be learning all about the University of Chicago.
Great, thank you so much, Jennifer. And hello, everybody. I'm super excited to present to you about UChicago today. Let me see if I can share my screen here. Okay. Perfect. Welcome, everybody. I'm super excited to kick it off. My name is Allison White. I'm an admissions counselor at the University of Chicago. I'm also the director of our first generation initiatives and also an alum of UChicago. So I know UChicago very, very well, and I'm super excited to share a little bit about UChicago with you. So just a little bit about us. We are a small liberal arts college housed inside a larger research university. So we have to say at UChicago that you get the best of both worlds in your education. You get that small campus feel. We also have some of the most amazing opportunities awarded to you that you really can't find anywhere else. We are about 7,000 undergrads. So we're a bit of a small university, but we are global. We represent 180 different countries, all 50 states around the country as well. And our school motto is life of the mind, which means that our students are dedicated to learning in pretty much every way possible, from themselves, their classes, their teachers, professors, community, and peers. I want to talk a little bit about the education because it is what makes up UChicago. It is divided up into 3 different parts. We have our core curriculum. Our core curriculum is 8 different subject fields that you must complete in your 4 years here at UChicago. It includes the humanities, social sciences, physical sciences, biological sciences, arts, civilization studies, math, and a foreign language. Now I know that sounds like a lot, and I know for some of you who are maybe more humanities-based or science-based, the thought of taking some of those classes might be a bit daunting to you, but these are interdisciplinary. They're not just Bio 101, Intro to Poetry. They are classes that incorporate all different disciplines into its schedule. So the second part of the education here at UChicago is the majors and the minors. We have 50 majors, 50 minors, ranging in everything from economics, sociology, the arts, molecular engineering, and it's meant to be flexible. You don't have to declare your major until the end of your 3rd year, plenty of time to take a lot of different classes. The third and final part of your education here at UChicago is electives. So this is the third part of your education, reserved classes that interest you, whether it's a new discipline you want to take up or just a fun class. So in addition to our academics, we also have career support to help you kind of use those academics to pursue what you want to after college. The one thing I want to mention that's really unique to our career advancement department is our Jeff Metcalf internship program. These are paid substantive internships in a field of your choice. About 4,000 of them were offered last year, only to UChicago students. So you can be paid to really pursue something that you really, really want to do in and after college. A little bit about student life. I don't have too much time here. I'd be happy to answer any questions about this as well. The one thing I want to mention is our housing system. So we have a unique housing system at UChicago. When you are placed into a residence hall or a dorm, you're also placed into a smaller version of this residence hall called a house. Each house is special, has its own little traditions, whether it's jumping into Lake Michigan on the first day of winter, having a bad movie night every Friday in your house, or having awkward date night with your housemates, which happens every year. We also have some campus-wide traditions, including $1 milkshake Wednesdays every Wednesday. We have a scavenger hunt that's famous called Scav Hunt. It includes tasks like take a selfie in front of the Eiffel Tower or build a functioning nuclear reactor, which students have actually done in the past. We are located in Hyde Park, which is just 6 miles south of downtown Chicago. Very residential neighborhood, very green, as you can see, but we are still very, very close to the city center. Now, I don't have time to delve in specifically to all of the application process here, but I want to mention something about what makes us stand out in the application process. We have really distinctive essays here at UChicago. We require you to write 3 of them. The first one is the personal statement, which you're going to write for pretty much every college you apply to. The second is a why UChicago essay. So many colleges are going to have you write a why essay. We want to see why you want to come to UChicago. Is it our core or liberal arts education? Is it our metropolitan location? Is it because our campus looks a little bit like Hogwarts? We really want to see that dedication here. And then we have our creative essays. Our creative essays are unique to us, and they have prompts like, where is Waldo really? Or what's so odd about odd numbers? Why does Costco sell mustard in such large quantities? So these really reflect who we are as a campus. We're a creative campus. We think outside the box, and we really want to see how you contribute to that as well. So lastly, I just want to touch on financial aid a bit. We are a need-based school. So we meet 100% of your demonstrated need on your application. We have a no barriers philosophy, which means that we do not want the cost of coming to college to be a barrier in you attending. Just a little numbers estimate here for families that make $125,000 a year or less. We offer full tuition. For families that make $60,000 a year or less, we offer full tuition, fees, room and board, and any other administrative fees there. So yeah, if you want to find out how you can kind of estimate the cost of college, and this is a resource for every kind of university, just Google net price calculator UChicago, and you can get an estimate of your financial aid. So these are some methods of contact, our website, email as well, and I'll also be putting my email in the chat. Thank you everyone for your time.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Allison, for starting us off and sharing all about the University of Chicago. All right, we're on to our next school. We are going to be hearing from the University of Miami.
Hello, everyone. I'm trying to share my screen here. 1 second.
Yep, looks good, Amanda.
Perfect. So hello, everyone. My name is Amanda Hequin. I am an assistant director for undergraduate admission at the University of Miami, and I'm so excited to be with you all today. Now, I'm going to dive right in because I know I don't have much time, but I do want to start with some facts about the university. So we are a relatively young university. We were founded in 1925. And to this day, we have around 10,000 undergraduate students representing over 100 countries, making us a mid-sized institution. And this is something that I really do love talking about because I really think it's the perfect size. You get the academic freedom and the opportunities that you would get in a large institution, but you're also going to get the campus and community size of something kind of smaller. So I really think it's kind of the perfect happy medium, really. Now, talking about those academic options, we have over 180 majors and programs to choose from, really ranging from all different subjects across 11 schools and colleges, which I'll mention in just a little bit. And one of the best things about being this mid-sized institution is that we have a 12-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So you're not just a seat in a lecture hall, but you really get to create those intimate relationships with your professors. And that's obviously important when it comes to networking, getting jobs, research, and it definitely just makes for a better academic experience when you can go up to your professor, ask them a question, and they know who you are. So like I was saying before, we have 11 schools and colleges, 9 of which house our undergraduate students. Now that's everything from those hard sciences to business, performing arts, sports, music. It really spans all different topics, all different programs, and all different majors. And that's something that's actually really exciting to us here at UM because you can explore all of these things. You don't just have to stick to one program or one major or one school even. One of the ways in which we actually do that is through our Cognates program of general education. So some universities will kind of give you a list of intro classes. They'll say you have to take Math 101 and you have to take Science 101, but we're not going to do that at UM. Instead, what we have done is that we have divided all of our courses into 3 subject areas. So that's STEM, Arts and Humanities, and People in Society. And so every class that you take is going to fall into one of these 3 categories. What we ask is that you take at least 3 classes in each of these categories. So it's all going to make more sense now when I break it down for you. Here's our wonderful mascot, Sebastian. He's an ibis, a bird. He likes to fly. So he chooses aerospace engineering as his major. So because he's in that major, he's automatically going to take more than 3 courses in that subject area. And because it is engineering, it's going to fall into that STEM category. So that cognate is already taken care of. Then you know he's a bird, so maybe he doesn't do a lot of talking, maybe he does a lot of thinking, likes philosophy, so he decides to take Introduction to Philosophy for his second cognate. Now, one of the great things about this structure is that since you're already taking 3 classes, typically a minor is 5 classes. So if you just add 2 more courses to that subject area, you've added a minor to your degree, which is pretty cool. And then finally, he is our mascot, loves cheering on our Hurricanes, loves sports, so he chooses sports communication for his third cognate. So you can really see how you can truly personalize your cognates to study things that you want, things that you're interested in, instead of just fulfilling general electives. You kind of get to pick and choose kind of what you're interested in. Now, outside of the classroom, we have over 300 clubs and organizations, and those span so many different topics. We have social, Greek life, special interest organizations. Some of our most popular ones are scuba and salsa, since we are in Miami. And we also have pre-professional organizations to help you start out in your fields, and service organizations as well. So if it's something that you're passionate about, you will find a way to get involved on our campus. Now, talking a little bit about our location, even though we are the University of Miami, we're actually located in Coral Gables, which is just south of downtown or South Beach, the ocean, Miami. What you think of Miami, we're just a little south of that. We're in a suburb of Miami. So you have that quiet and peace of our neighborhood community, but just seconds away, you have beautiful Miami with so many activities and opportunities to explore. And that's really one of the benefits about coming to school here. You're not just stuck on our campus, you have a huge major city to really explore outside of our doors. Now, I do want to show you some data, some statistics regarding our last first-year admitted class. Please keep in mind that these are stats for our current first-year students, so students that did apply for fall of 2021, not this upcoming fall of 2022. So you can see that we did receive over 42,000 applications for fall of 2021. And just so you can get an idea, we reached over 49,000 applications for next fall of 2022. You can also see the variety of statistics as it relates to GPA and test scores. And one thing that I do want to note here is that we do not only look at numbers, we look at your application as a whole. We apply a holistic approach to our admission process. So yes, we are looking at your GPA, your test scores if you submit them, letters of rec, supplemental essays, everything, not just those bare numbers. Now, on top of that profile, I do have some demographics for you, so you can kind of see who makes up the student body here at UM and who you would be joining if you were to become a Miami Hurricane. So one of the things that I do like to point out here is that we are just below 30% Florida residents, which means that over 60% of your class is going to be from different parts of the country, or they're even going to be international students. So you will get to meet a lot of different people on our campus. Now, last thing, I do want to talk about deadlines quite quickly. We have 4 different admission deadlines that you can choose from. We have early decision 1, we have early action, which are due November 1st. And early decision 2 and regular decision due on January 1st. So now keep in mind that early decision 1 and early decision 2 are going to be binding agreements. And we are becoming increasingly more competitive year after year. So my big tip for you all is that if Miami is the school for you, if we are your #1 school, apply early. So that's some information about UM. There's a lot more I wish I could cover right now, but I'll continue to be active in the Q&A, so feel free to reach out. And we also have virtual visits going on and self-guided walking tours that I urge you to sign up for. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Amanda, for presenting on the University of Miami. That As Amanda mentioned, the Q&A, don't forget, we hope that you'll be continuing to add questions there for all of our representatives to check out and answer for you, and keep an eye on the chat so you can grab some of that direct contact information to follow up after today. We're on to our next school. We're going to be hearing from the University of Notre Dame.
Hi, everyone. My name is Caroline Ortiz, and I just want to say thank you all for being here tonight. I'm really excited just to give you all a brief introduction to the University of Notre Dame. So first, just as a note, geographically, we are located in South Bend, Indiana, which is about 2 hours south of Chicago. Now, there are three main topics.
Caroline, can I just pop in real quick? Are you sharing your screen? Do you want?
No.
Okay, I just wanted to be certain we weren't having a tech problem. So right back
No
at
worries.
it.
Thanks, Jennifer. So there are three main topics that I just want to share with you all about Notre Dame. The first is faith, then academics, and then community here at Notre Dame. So first, I like to point out that we are a Catholic university, which means that as a community, we are deeply committed to the Catholic social teachings, particularly when it comes to advocating for the disadvantaged. Now, of course, you don't have to be Catholic to apply to the University of Notre Dame, but it does mean that once you arrive on campus, you'll be welcomed into an incredibly compassionate community that it has a particular dedication to service. We have chapels in all of our dorms, and students often find that these places are wonderful spaces for them to pray in or simply to meditate and reflect. One thing that we're very passionate about at the University of Notre Dame is educating the whole person, not solely the mind. So we want students to feel nourished and challenged intellectually, spiritually, and socially while they're here. We also have thriving communities for students who are not Catholic, but are practicing another religion. So we have our Muslim Student Association and our undergraduate Jewish community. So we have become a great forum for interfaith dialogue as well, and for those who are seeking deeper answers to the questions that they wonder about. In terms of academics, one thing that we're really passionate about is undergraduate research. So we have a QSA Center, which provides advising and resources for students who are interested in pursuing research even as early as their sophomore year. We are a very undergraduate focused community, and we want to help students pursue all of their career goals. Speaking of career goals, for students who are interested in the pre-med track, it'll be comforting to know that for Notre Dame students, those who apply to med school during their senior year, 85% of them are accepted, which is twice the national average. And then lastly, another topic that makes Notre Dame exceptionally unique is our dorm communities. So we have 32 residential halls on campus, and each one has its own mascot, special tradition, even their own kind of special color, which provides a lot of merch for students. They host intramural sports, and they have dances and formals together. So students really find their home under the dome, as we like to say, through their dorm community. We don't have Greek life on campus, but students often say that they don't need it because the dorm communities are so supportive and tight-knit. It is important to note that it is required to live on campus for the first 3 years that you're at Notre Dame. However, once you're a senior, you are given the option to move off campus. So only about 40% of seniors actually take that option to move off campus. So it's clear that students love the experience in the dorm and really want to enjoy all 4 years there. Another important note is that when you are a freshman, you won't be able to choose which dorm you're in. And one of the reasons we do that is because the admissions office puts a lot of thought and consideration into compiling a wonderful and especially diverse first year class. And so we really want students to mix and to meet people who are from a completely different part of the country or from another country around the world. We want students to really share their unique life experiences with each other. And so for the first year, you will not choose your roommate and you won't be able to choose your dorm. However, once you're a sophomore, you of course can choose your roommate, and you can even switch into a different dorm if you would like. Though usually that's not very common because students often have such a positive experience their first year in the dorm. Another thing to note is that each dorm has its own RA who is a senior living with you and who's really passionate about mentoring freshmen. They give you great advice on how to pick classes, which clubs to join, how to create a balanced schedule, and just really help you navigate the adjustment to college. So this is just a brief introduction to the University of Notre Dame, but I also recommend checking out our website for more information. I particularly recommend checking out our financial aid website. And one thing to note for domestic students, we are completely need blind, which means that we do not consider how much your family can contribute towards tuition when we're evaluating applications. You know, we really feel passionate about wanting to bring the best and brightest students to the University of Notre Dame to experience the great value of that education. So thank you all again, and I hope you have a great evening. I'll be staying here for the rest of the hour just to answer questions about Notre Dame through the Q&A chat, but thank you so much.
Thank you so much for presenting and sharing the University of Notre Dame with us. We're moving on to our next school, and that will be St. Mary's College.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Cara Firestein, and I am a senior admission counselor with St. Mary's College. I'm going to share my screen here. So Jennifer, let me know if it doesn't work. All right, and here we are. So St. Mary's College, we are located in Notre Dame, Indiana. And as some of you might guess, we are close to the University of Notre Dame, who we just heard from. So we're actually just across the street from the University of Notre Dame, hence the Notre Dame, Indiana address. But we are located outside of South Bend, Indiana, and we are a private Catholic institution. And at the undergraduate level, we are also a women's college. We truly are a place for discovery at St. Mary's. So to give you a little bit of an idea of what our student body looks like at the undergraduate level, we have about 1,600 students, 63% of which come from outside the state of Indiana. In total, our student body represents about 40 states and 6 countries. And of our student body, about 22% of our students identify as students of color, and 29% are the first in their families to go to college. So you can see on this map here where we are located in Indiana, as well as where we tend to see a lot of our students coming from. This little picture on the bottom here is just a photo of South Bend, Indiana, in our downtown area. Now, when it comes to the academics at St. Mary's, you're going to get a very individualized experience. Our student to faculty ratio is 9:1, and our average class size is just 16. So you really will get to know your professors, and they will get to know you as well and help to mentor you. Our goal at St. Mary's is to help all of our students to discover their passions and their talents and their strengths as they discover their place in the world. We have over 50 academic programs to choose from, our most popular being nursing, education, business, and the sciences, including our pre-med and pre-health professional track. You can see some of our most unique programs listed there as well. Now, as I mentioned previously, we are a women's college at the undergraduate level, and that, of course, makes us quite unique. We have there are many benefits to a women's college. So any of you young women out there who haven't yet begun to consider a women's college, I encourage you after this event this evening to go check out some of those benefits of a women's college. But to get you started on that search, just a couple of statistics here. About 51% of women's college graduates go on to complete a graduate degree compared to only 27% of public university graduates. And about 81% of women's college grads say that they feel prepared for their jobs because of their college experience compared to only 65% of public university graduates. How do we get to these numbers? Well, everything that we do at women's colleges is done with women in mind. Every single club leader that you see on campus, every single young woman who's getting an amazing internship or landing that dream job is a woman, and it's an incredibly inspiring environment at a women's college. Now, when it comes to opportunities at St. Mary's for involvement, they're seemingly endless. Whether you are joining one of our many clubs or organizations or boards on campus, or you're choosing to get involved with our tri-campus community of the University of Notre Dame just across the street, Holy Cross just next door, or St. Mary's ourselves, you'll have plenty of opportunities for getting involved in clubs and organizations. Our students are able to join any clubs in the tri-campus community, which in total adds up to be over 510 clubs and organizations. As a Catholic institution, faith and spirituality is one of our core values, and through campus ministry and the Center for Spirituality, we provide our students with plenty of opportunities to engage in their faith and spirituality. That's something that they're looking to do during their time on campus. Justice is another one of our core values, and we see about 80% of our students choosing to engage in service opportunities during their time on campus. We have 8 Division III NCAA teams, varsity teams on campus, as well as club and intramural sports that our students can get involved in. And about 50% of our students do study abroad. We believe that in order to understand their place in the world, students must go out and see it. So about 50% of our students study abroad, and we are currently ranked number 35 by US News and World Report for sending students abroad. So we're really proud of that. Now, if you like what you're hearing so far, I encourage you to go to our website and read more about our admission process. We're on the Common App, it's free to apply, and we're very holistic in our application review process. So everything that you send to us, we will absolutely read. You can see some of our application requirements here, and you can apply either early decision or regular decision to St. Mary's, and those deadlines are listed here as well as on our website. You'll also note that 100% of our incoming students receive some type of financial aid from us, so absolutely no student at St. Mary's pays our sticker price. Now, when you think about your college experience, I know that oftentimes you want to know what those 4 years are going to look like, but also what will happen upon leaving that institution of your choice. Here at St. Mary's, the value for me, I attended myself, was truly priceless. St. Mary's was a place that I learned where my passions were and who I wanted to be. And we want to make sure that that's affordable for families. So as I mentioned, no one pays our sticker price. 100% of our incoming students receive some type of financial aid. We have what we call our 4-year promise, which states that you will graduate in 4 years if you listen to your advisors, if you pass those classes. 91% of our students actually graduate in 4 years. So we're always making sure to keep your time in mind. You don't have to select your major until that second semester of the sophomore year, but you will graduate in 4 years. And there's a 91% chance of that. We are consistently ranked by US News and World Report in Best National Liberal Arts Colleges. And as I mentioned, we're number 35 in the country for sending students abroad. I encourage you to check out our visit page listed here on our website for more information about our events. And if you'd like to reach out to me, I work with the entire state of Florida. You can see my contact information here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Cara, for sharing St. Mary's. We're on to our 5th school of our session today. We're going to be learning all about Vanderbilt University.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me here. My name is Sabrina Paxton. I'm an assistant director here at Vanderbilt University, and I'm so excited to give you guys a brief introduction to our university. Vanderbilt is a private liberal arts university located in Nashville, Tennessee. To start off with a few quick facts here, we do have just over 7,000 total undergraduates. This places us nicely in kind of the medium-sized range of institutions. We're not too big, not too small. You can definitely find your family and your community once you're here on campus. We do have 10 different colleges and schools. 4 of those are undergraduate and the other 6 are graduate schools. But the main thing I always like to point out here is that all 10 of these schools are right on main campus. So there is a lot of collaboration that happens between the different schools. We also have a very large hospital right on campus if you're interested in pre-med, and we are a Research One university. So lots of opportunities to collaborate with graduate professors, to do an internship in that hospital, things like that. We do have 70 majors and 72 minors for our students to choose from in our 4 different undergraduate schools. You cannot just apply to Vanderbilt when you do apply. You have to pick one of these 4 schools that you would like to apply into. The College of Arts and Science is definitely our biggest school. It's where we have about 40 of the 70 majors that we do offer. It's also where we tell our students to apply into if they're undecided, which is totally fine and normal. You don't have to know what you want to do the second you graduate high school, but this will be the school for you to apply into if you are undecided. Our School of Engineering, we do have 8 different majors for you to choose there. Our Peabody College of Education and Human Development kind of has 2 different tracks. We do have the education piece, and this is, K through 12 education, special education. And then the other track within the school is our Human Organizational Development major. This is the closest thing that we do offer to a business major, although it is more of kind of a liberal arts take on a business education. So that is an interesting one to do a little bit more research on if you are interested in going into that. And then our last school that we offer is our Blair School of Music, and it does require an audition to be accepted into this school. Once you're on campus, it is very open, very flexible. You can definitely double major across the 4 different schools. You can minor across the schools. You can simply just take classes across the schools. Like I said earlier, they are all right on main campus. So lots of flexibility to kind of have that interdisciplinary sort of study that you are interested in. We do have small class sizes. We have a 7-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and we really want to make sure that all of our students can do what they're interested in. Over half of our students will complete some sort of research project at their time here at Vanderbilt. And it really helps that you have the smaller class sizes so you get to know your professors. You can feel comfortable talking with them, asking if they need help on their research projects, and really creating those one-on-one relationships. Vanderbilt is a residential campus, and 95% of our students will live on campus for all 4 years. I like to highlight the freshman living experience because it is a bit unique. All of our freshmen will live on one area of campus called the Freshman Commons. This is kind of a separate part of campus. It's about 5 minutes away from main campus, but it is a spot just for our freshmen. There are 10 different houses there. You'll get placed randomly into different houses. It's not like divided up by your college or your major or anything like that. But all the freshmen get to live together. They get to create that sense of community that first year. It is your space to really kind of feel acclimated to campus. There's a dining hall over there. There's a gym over there. So it's a really great kind of way to ease you into the college experience. After freshman year, there's a lot of different living opportunities for you still on campus. So there's apartment style dorms, there's more house style with 10 of your friends, or there's more of these living learning communities that are kind of a continuation of the freshman living experience, whatever you would prefer after you finish your freshman year. I can't talk about Vanderbilt without talking about the wonderful city that we are located in, Nashville. You can see here on the screen on the bottom left-hand corner, that lit up clock tower, that is campus. And then on the upper right-hand corner, that skyline is downtown Nashville. So about 1.5 miles away from the city center. But as you can see, we're really surrounded by the city on all 4 corners of campus. And we are super lucky to be in this really vibrant and growing city. We are Music City, so we do get over 20,000 concerts come through every single year. I promise only about 1/3 of those are country music. So if you don't like country music, there is music for everyone here in Nashville. We are the state's capital, so any kind of political or legal internships that you're interested in, we have lots of opportunities around the city. And then actually our #1 industry in Nashville is healthcare. So going back to that hospital on campus or maybe another clinic around the city, a lot of our students will do internships in those kind of areas as well. And we do have a career center on campus that is really great in helping our students set up those internships, finding those opportunities, both while you're in school and when you are ready to graduate. Okay, very briefly, I just want to go a brief overview of what we evaluate in the admissions process. Like a lot of my colleagues here, we are a holistic admissions process, meaning that there's no GPA cutoffs or test scores that you have to get to apply. And we look at everything that you send us and kind of see who you are as a whole person. Just very briefly, though, a few of the things we will kind of hone in on. We do look at academic achievement. This is both your grades and your transcript, but it's also rigor of your classes. We do want to see you taking the most challenging classes that are available to you within your own high school. The next thing we'll look at our test scores. If you want to submit them, a relatively new announcement, we are going test optional for the next 2 years. So you do not have to submit test scores if you don't want to, completely up to you. If you do want to submit them, we'll accept the ACT or the SAT super scored, but it will not hurt your application if you don't submit test scores. Letters of recommendation, we do require 3. And then of course, the personal essay and your extracurricular activities where we get to see a better sense of who you are, your personality, and what ways you would be involved here on campus. All right, that is most of my time, but if you guys have any more questions, I will put my email in the chat and I'm happy to help with anything else.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sabrina, for presenting on Vanderbilt. All right, so we've reached the end of the formal part of our presentation, the 6-minute presentations by each of our schools, but we do still have some time before we wrap up, and everyone is doing a really great job with questions in the Q&A. I know our representatives are loving answering them and giving you some more specific information about the aspects of their school you're wondering about. So while you are looking in the chat to make sure you have that contact info and we've got things going on in the Q&A, we're going to do a couple live questions. So I would love to invite each representative to come back on camera, join together as a group. I have a couple questions to pose for you. We'll go in the exact same order that you presented. So we'll start with our representative from the University of Chicago. So Allison, you'll start us off, and then we'll work our way in order to Sabrina at Vanderbilt. When the representative ahead of you finishes, just feel free to turn on your microphone and answer the question. I won't call on you going from reply to reply. All right, so our very first question, what is a piece of advice or a favorite top tip that you have for students and families going through the college admissions process, searching for that right fit for what's next? Allison?
Sure, that's a great question. So I would encourage you to come to things like this, get to know the universities that you're looking at. What kind of style of university suits you, whether it's smaller, larger, state schools, private schools, international schools. So really get to know what kind of college environment is right for you. And then when it's time to kind of apply and select which colleges that you are interested in, then you have a pretty strong sense of what you want to pursue in college and which universities can provide that for you.
Yeah, same here. Really ask yourself what's important to you. Look at the size, the location. If it's far from home, what majors, what programs or schools are offering. Diversity, who makes up the student body? Is the school very diverse? What clubs and organizations are offered? Do they have school spirit? I mean, we obviously have school spirit and it's very fun. And career development as well. How do they support their students in order to reach the next level in their careers?
Those are great answers. And what I always recommend to students is just that they take the time to reflect on what they're looking for the next 4 years. What kind of community do you want to be in for the next 4 years? Who are the students that you want to surround yourself in? And particularly for Notre Dame, I always recommend that students read our mission statement. Really closely look at these mission statements and see, what is an institution that, you want to contribute to them achieving that mission.
And my advice to students is always to ask questions. There is no such thing as a silly question when you are deciding your future. Whether it is my office of admission or the others that are here on the screen today, we want you to ask those questions. So if there's anything that you feel like you need in order to be able to begin to narrow down those decisions or even to begin your search process, let us know. We are here to help, and it makes our job more enjoyable when we get to talk with all of you.
So many good things have already been said. I echo everything, but I also would say, make sure that you're doing this for yourself and you're finding the school that you want to go to. I know sometimes there's pressure to apply where your friends want to apply or where your older sister goes or something like that, but make sure it's the best fit for you because you're the one that's going to be spending the next 4 years there. And also, I think someone else said this, but really, focusing on those student experiences, if a school has Instagram takeovers or reading student blogs, that's a really good way. Even if you can't visit, I know kind of COVID has made things hard sometimes, but really focusing on that student story of what it's like to be a student on campus.
I always love that question as different representatives are answering, all the heads nodding. So I hope that also shows our students and families that these are, this is real awesome info from admissions counselors that I hope are showing are real people that love what they do and want to be engaged in the process. They're not just off in an office reading applications all day and are not approachable. They're here to help you navigate all of this. So I hope that this gives you a little extra insight into that as well. I always like to throw in a top tip as well. And, I think organization can be really important. So I guess I'm going to go more logistical side of things, but it can be great to start just a really fresh new email for yourself. That's not a school account that you might not have in the future, and really have that be able to help you stay organized so that when you are, emailing a counselor question, emailing admissions counselor questions, or for the applications, to kind of just help you feel like you've got this place where all that information is located and you can really keep tabs on it in a way. And it just really kind of helps you for this process, but I think also kind of sets you up for the future for job searching and internships and things like that too. But you can get started with that organizational side now. All right, so next question is really fun. I know it's going to be a challenging one though for our representatives. So what is one thing or, 2 or 3 top words that you think describe your school, that you want everyone who's watching this presentation, whether live or recording, to remember as they walk away and think about following up with you for more information following today's presentations? So again, Allison, thanks for starting.
Sure, that's a tough one. It's hard to sum it up, but the one thing I want everyone to remember about UChicago is that we are a place of learning, creative learning specifically. We encourage our students to think outside the box. We have a commitment to free speech, so we want our students to engage with many different perspectives, many different texts, research, and kind of get a hands-on, more, like whole world experience on things. So, creative learning perspective is really important to us.
So for me, I think diversity really, not only from where people come from, but diversity in our academic programs, diversity in opportunities outside of the classroom, diversity of thought, and diversity just in really, again, just all of the programs and opportunities that we offer our students, and just the diversity of our community as well.
For Notre Dame, I think the phrase I think best represents Notre Dame is actually a quote from one of our founders. He described the university, his plan for it was that he wanted it to be a force for good in the world. And I think that really sets Notre Dame apart. These are students who want to use their intellectual talents in service of a greater good and for others in society.
And for St. Mary's, I would say just that there are so many incredible benefits to a women's college. So again, for you young women out there, check out those benefits of a women's college, look into women's colleges, and really explore our websites a little bit. You'll see that there are a ton of awesome benefits.
I think the one theme I like to highlight about Vanderbilt the most is collaboration. A lot of our students love to work together. They love to support each other. It's really not a cutthroat environment. The classes, they have tutoring groups. You'll run into the library and everyone's working together and helping each other and going to their a cappella groups and supporting their friends. So there's just a really nice sense of collaboration on campus.
Awesome. I always love getting that in, because I think it's a great way to end our presentation time tonight. So first of all, thank you to all of our representatives. You not just represented and covered those facts and figures, those deadlines and details, but really you were showcasing, even in 6 minutes, the passion, the excitement that you have for your students' opportunities in and out of the classroom. So thank you for all of your hard work and for being here today. For everyone who's watching, whether live or watching this on a recording, we hope that this is inspiring you and that you have maybe 1 or 2 schools drew you here and you think, I need to check out all of these different programs. I need to learn more after today. I know we can probably get to every question, and there's even more details to share. So I do hope that you will follow up with each of these schools, reach out to these amazing counselors, and really dive into your college search process. I know it can get overwhelming, but it is so fun to explore, to see what's out there, and to find that next place for you as you continue your education in the classroom and out of the classroom too. All right, the logistics. So we always have to cover those. All right, well, when you, let me just grab my screen real quick. There we go. All right, so when you close your window tonight, students and all attendees, there is going to be a very quick 5-question survey. I promise it is really short, students. We would appreciate any feedback that you can provide and really appreciate you taking the time to do that. We do encourage you to sign up for more sessions as a part of the programming for our Central Florida students. We have more events. We have another round tonight and a whole second day of programming coming up, and it's not too late to join in. We hope that you will head to strivescan.com/Central Florida to check out the schedule and register. Also, remember, this session, as well as all sessions, are being recorded. You'll be able to find all of them posted in the coming days at that same website where you registered. So you can watch a presentation again, share it with some family and friends, or learn about other great schools you couldn't attend today. Thanks again, everyone, for spending time with us. All the best in your college search process, and we hope you have a wonderful, fun adventure and a great rest of the school year. Have a great night, everybody.